their ultimate goal for us is to be able to apply to be able to perform at a proficient level, feel more independent, and we know that they're on our cases now, but like later on, the drive that they're giving us is like full force, so like by the time they push us, we're like flying through,
They wish that, I keep on going with the track that I'm on, as in schoolwork and thinking outside the box probably, and go for better things and always look for opportunities.
I want to see a progress. I think they want to see a change or a point of change, because then they know you have that capability and you can your experiences can be limitless, because you can obviously make that change, and if you can do that, then you can, if some people succeed, go to college.
As to how to manage my time, how to use my time usefully, and then just do it good in college and get a good degree and have a good life.
I don't know, for myself to be proud of what I'm doing. It just seems like that's, they can not, they don't have any, once I'm out of high school, they got no jurisdiction over me, so that's cool. But like, proud of what I'm doing and, go on the path that I want to go on, wherever that takes me.
Ultimately, they want options for us, and like for us to be able to obtain a certain level of freedom. So, what I like now might not be what I like 10 years from now, but when I get there 10 years down the line, to have that road still open to me, because I have the skills that I need to go do it, what path we choose, as long as we can be happy at where we're at and get to do what we need to do and what we want to do, and be really, really happy with ourselves while doing it, I think that's their ultimate goal.
Well, of course, I know that my teacher's wishes and goals for me is to go to college and to be able to apply the knowledge that I've learned at CAT or at Envision schools to what I do in college.
I think my teachers want the best for us, and so like when they're giving us these assignments, they lay out these benchmarks and stuff, and they let out they give us like these deadlines to meet in order for us to like have these so we can be prepared to like when we turn in these assignments, it's like that boom, we have that type of paper that gives us that boom, power the kisser, the work that they assign us is like college material. My cousin goes to San Jose State right now, and she's telling me like how all this work on top of her and how she has to stay up all night just to do work. And sometimes I feel like I have to do that in order for me to like present a proficient assignment.
I never really done a research paper, and last year and now this year we're working on research papers, and that's usually like the stereotypical thing about colleges. Oh, you gotta do like a 9-page research paper, and like I've always dreaded that, but I saw that I could do that last year, and I'm doing it this year, and it gives me the confidence. Not only like you can get the grade, but to have the confidence in yourself, it's the best thing.
Really write a paper on human nature, and that I know of. I don't know many people who have. It's graduation portfolio and everything is the big deal. So last year's Civil War paper, that was pretty challenging because it was the first big research paper we've ever done. So it was a dive into some hardcore academics.
Academically, I think the way that the math is set up helps. The way that it's a cycle, it really helps, because if you don't get it one year, you'll get it the next. So I think that by having this repetition of math, it really helps because you get practice and you get better at it and you actually learn it. And also the way that we do research projects, it helps because at first it's like, okay, they give us the research and we put it together into a paper. But then eventually, once you're a junior and a senior, you have to start doing research on your own and going to libraries. So by giving us the tools they gave us 10th grade, by giving us the research and like where would we find things like on the internet and the library, what section to go to, it helps us to find our own research.
I didn't know what I had to do in order to get to college, but now I feel much more confident, and like I feel like CAT has actually prepared me to, like, they've given me the tools to be ready, you know, to be more confident. And with all these exhibitions and being able to like just in these reflections and all these research papers and the assignments that we've been given in these projects-based learning experience, like I'm just getting all of this, and you know, it's just like I feel like it's preparing me, it's like pushing me, and I'm ready for college.
My focus when I was in 9th grade was just getting to 12th grade and actually graduating. Now I see myself in college. Now that I'm in the 12th grade, that has become my focus. So doing all I can to make sure that my graduation portfolio is proficient and being able to support my arguments, that's my goal now. Whereas when I was in 9th grade or a freshman, I didn't even think about it.
That experience of juggling, that experience of needing to work as hard as I can and being frustrated and having to work through it, I think that experience is what makes me me and and is going to formulate what I say on the day of like my defense. And they'll all know where I'm coming from because they're the people who helped me through it when I was frustrated or really down. They're the ones who helped me. So when they talk about the experience, they know exactly what I'm saying. And it's basically what shaped me. The reason why I am the way I am and where I'm at and the work that I can produce is all because the past that was behind me.
I feel that going through Envision schools, they've been giving us a lot of experience in different things with people. We've learned to use our resources, talk to our teachers if we need to, work with other people. And yeah, that's just definitely worked to our advantage, which a lot of people don't get at other schools.
Going through when I went to ISA, when I went to UConn, like it wasn't nothing compared to this. Like I never had to do essay or never had to, you know, work with teacher closely like I do at CAT. I think by the reflection and like, you know, about how I express myself by writing essays and doing research paper, and I feel like, you know, when I talk to my friend who's in college and he does the same work that I do, it just makes me feel proud. And I think about, you know, and I think about it like, you know, it's all because of my teachers. If they wouldn't exist, if I didn't come to this school, I wouldn't have to do all that, and I would struggle in college just like he does. And I'm glad I'm doing this right now, and I'm glad I'm getting through it. And I feel like I'm really prepared, and I'm thankful for all my teachers and the school too.
I think I'd be academically prepared because we're very self-directed. You make your own timeline, and in college that's what's going to happen. The high pressure because every teacher wants something different and they want a certain quality and they want a certain amount by very similar deadlines. So we know how to juggle so many things in our lives, like juggle different classes, juggle our academic life and social life.
These reflections that you guys make us do, they're annoying, they're boring, but it's like I understand who I am a little bit more, like what helps me to learn better, what I can do, like what makes it easier for me to learn or whatever, and like how I can, like with knowing that, like I know what I have to do in order to like do what I have to do in college.
This is the bar of your own personal limits and how far you can go. And so you realize that where you were before is not where you are now. And so you kind of look at that and you're like, well, that means where I am now, it's not where my permanent place is, and I could still go forward with it.
A lot of things. We do a lot of reflections so we can reflect back on the things we did and really understand the things that we learned and really understand and grasp the concepts that the teachers try to convey to us.
At CAT, I think that the exhibitions help. So you have to do research outside of school, and you have to prepare outside of school. So it takes up time in school and out of school, and sometimes that might be hectic, but that's how real life is. You have work, and then you have like your life outside of work, and you have college and your life outside of college, but you have to find a balance between them. By having standards for, like if the teachers have standards for us, then there's a certain level of expectation.
If you can meet these high expectations or high standards rather, to leave high school, I think you're going to be able to meet high standards no matter where you go. So I think it's good that, you know, the bar is set high because that means we can reach it later on in life.
Us having to make all our work proficient helps us to get ready for when we go to college because it's a higher standard, and we know we're going to be held to a higher standard when we get in college. So it helps us realize that just because we feel like our work is complete, it might not always be complete. or you can always add more to it because you never stop learning. So it's always something that you can add.
When I receive all these big projects, I know it's gonna help me. So I don't complain about it. Even like just like the portfolio stuff. I mean, I know it's hard, and I know I could get through it without complaining. So I'm not even gonna complain about it to the teachers. I know I have to do it, and I know they know what's best for me because they've been preparing me for the past 3 years, and I know they know what they're doing, and I like it.
The fact that we're having a graduation portfolio is pushing me because I know that when we're presenting our grad portfolios, we're basically defending all of the hard work that we put into these certain assignments, and we're showing that what we've done is something that's college-ready type of stuff, material. And with that makes me feel more confident into, like, for the future. And that grad portfolio is going to be what determines whether or not I'm ready to move on to college or not.
A lot of the work that we're doing for the graduation portfolio has already been done, so we have a strong base to go off of. We just need to work on it to make it proficient and create new projects to make it proficient too. So it's kind of like a mentality that, okay, I have to do this good, I have to do this good. And even though it might be like stressful, I think that the pressure helps a lot. So for them to have standards for us, it's just like the real world to have deadlines. And I think it pushes us to do better.
When I approach like school especially, it's all about environment. And so it's like it's the attitude that they treat you with. Like they won't say, oh, well, you're a certain grade level, I understand because you're 16 or you're 17. But they actually say, like, you're on the same level, we expect this from you. There's no whining. You need to do it, you have to grow up. But at the same time, they still keep that level of, I still need to mentor you and help you through it. So I think it's that like level of respect that the teachers have towards us really like shapes the work that we want to do, because it becomes something of, I want to do it because I genuinely know it's good for me.
The experience of a lot of pressure is a challenge, and it's making me like want to push forward and get it done and succeed in that. And I feel like we're going to have a lot of that pressure when we get out of high school. And if you can get through this and show yourself that you can do as well as you can, like a lot of people think that they can't do this, but you can, and the teachers are trying to push us. And the fact that we have this rubric shows us that we can get there. It is possible, or else it wouldn't exist. So they're showing us that we have it in us. We just have to find it and apply it and put it down and show it and prove it.
I'm not really anxious about the defense. I'm anxious about the road getting there. There's just a lot of work that needs to be done from now until then, so that's more of what I'm worried about. I'm sure once the defense comes, I'm definitely going to be sweating a little bit, but it's nice to have the ability to present why you should be able to graduate for 45 minutes. As an 18-year-old, that's a pretty big accomplishment in life.